Just imagine this, that you are a business owner waiting for a payment of rupees 5 lakhs, and now the check arrives, and when you place the check before the bank, it bounces. Suddenly the cash flow of the company is disrupted and the trust is shattered. Now, this is a very common scenario for the Indian businesses because more than 43 lakh cases of check bounce are pending in India. Now, guys, a bounced check is not just a minor inconvenience. Let me tell you, it's a criminal offense in India which can put you behind the bars for almost 2 years and could also direct you to pay double the amount of the check value. Hi everyone, I am Sonal Alag, and today in this video we will be learning how to protect your business from the check bounce and how to actively take steps and what steps to be taken to navigate your legal journey if you come across a check bounce case. We'll be covering what are the common mistakes you need to avoid, what are the practical legal steps that you need to make, and some real life examples and stories that how check bounce cases can actually disrupt the business and how you can adopt these steps to actually recover your money legally. Now, before we dig deeper, in the first segment, let me just quickly talk about the common mistakes that you should avoid if you come across such a situation. So now, whenever you get a bank return memo, when your check bounces, make sure that you send a legal notice to the opposite side within 30 days of receiving the bank return memo. Guys, do not wait for like vague request, I will pay you in some time, please wait for some time, because if these 30 days passes, you cannot rectify it no matter what. So make sure that the moment you receive the bank return memo, within 30 days, you issue them a legal notice. Now, after receiving this legal notice, the other party who has actually given you that check has only 15 days to make this payment. Now, if they don't make this payment within the next 15 days, within next 30 days, you have to go and file a criminal case, a criminal complaint in the magistrate court. Now, these timelines are very strict, so please do not miss any of these timelines. Now, make sure that if that check has been given by a company or a partnership, you address it not just to the director and the partner, you also address to that partnership entity and to that company with proper address, because incomplete address actually questions the validity of that notice. Now, the third common mistake that entrepreneurs often do is neglecting documentation. Guys, if you have received the bounce check or if you have received the bank return memo, just make sure that you properly keep it intact and safe, because you are going to need these documents in court of law to prove that the check was dishonored. Now, for an example, if the other party is requesting you please represent the check in some days, or there are a lot of communications that why he couldn't pay it, what it was against the payment was made, you need to preserve all of these documentation. You need to keep them intact. Even the contracts under which these payments are being made, make sure you have the original copies of the contract. If not, the Xerox copy which is attested by the board. You need to keep all of this documentation intact and safe to win the case. The fourth common mistake that entrepreneurs do is assuming that it's not worth it or not applicable. Now, when a check bounces, there could be 10,000 reasons that appears on the bank return memo. It could be due to some technical reason like closure of bank account, sign mismatch, freezing of account, balance insufficient. Now, all of these reasons are covered under the ambit of Section 138 of the Negotiable Instrument Act, and you can prosecute against the same. So these assumptions that it is not applicable, it is not going to help, are completely wrong. Sometimes you just think that the amount is so low or so less that you don't want to actually prosecute or you don't want to go into that hassle. Guys, it is not just about the case, it is the example that you are giving to your debtor. It is the example that you are making that they can take you as an interest-free loan giving person to whom you can actually cheat whenever you want. So that is the idea behind taking it legally. Guys, now that you know what not to do, Let me just quickly take you through what you have to do by giving one very interesting real life example. Now, Shri used to supply hard disk to a production film company based out of Mumbai. Now, in 2015, Shri had actually supplied some good and received a check of rupees 2.38 lakhs. However, that check bounced when produced before the bank. Now, she was very persistent about it. She took all actions very swiftly, sent them a legal notice, waited for the reply, and filed a criminal complaint before the magistrate against the check bounce. Now, what happened thereafter is very interesting. After a long 7 years fight, it actually paid it off. The court sentenced the filmmaker for an imprisonment of 3 months, along with asking the filmmaker to pay 3.78 lakh rupees, that is along with the interest, to Shri. And the court even observed that if this payment is not made within next 7 days, that filmmaker could go for an additional imprisonment of 3 months. Now that is the power of section 138 of Negotiable Instruments Act. In this next step, we will be talking about the practical steps to avoid these payment issues, because we all know that it's better to prevent a problem than to cure it. So it's better you never face these kind of problems, or what are the pre-strategies you can adopt that you never come across a bounce check. Now, the first and foremost is know your customer's credit worthiness, and especially when you're dealing with new clients for the first time, don't go all genuine or don't go all generous. So all you need to see is what is their track record, get some referrals, their market references, know their credit worthiness. Make sure that you just take a small credit check in advance to know they're actually genuine or not. And like a simple credit check or a modest first transaction with a new client can reveal a lot about their credit background, that what is their capacity, whether it's a genuine pay client or just a fake one. Now, the second important thing you need to keep in mind is whenever you are entering into any transaction, have the clear terms in writing. Now, be it a contract, be it an invoice, be it a debt note, whatever money transaction you are entering into with any client, make sure that you have it all in writing. All the terms and conditions are there in writing. Now, the third important element that you need to keep in mind is staggered payment or payment in advance. Now, when you're dealing with a big client or it's a big project, please do not rely upon a single check, because you cannot park all your eggs in the single basket. So make sure either you had a staggered payment plan wherein you are making payment in different tranches, or you ask for an on account advance deposit that ensures that you don't come across a post dated bounce check situation in that business cycle. Now, the fourth important thing is the timely check deposit. Now, guys, a simple step of holding on the check for too long can make the check go waste. So deposit the check within 3 months of the date on the check, so that it does not become stale and your money doesn't go waste. So make sure you act timely and promptly whenever a check is given to you. Guys, even with these precautions, a bounced check can still happen to you. So here's a step-by-step guide of what you need to do if you come across a bounced check. Number one, which I've even spoken about in brief before, is you will be getting a bank return memo and a cancelled check back from the bank. Now, the moment you get it, the first and foremost thing that you should do is ideally call up the person who has given the check, because it could also be a technical error. At times, the sign mismatch is not intentional, and what happens is that maybe the person will just pay you upfront the amount that was there in the check. So the first and the foremost step has to be that you just call the person and you tell him that, boss, this is a situation, there's a bounce check. Now, in case that person doesn't pay, do not fall for false promises. Now, the next step, that is step number 2, that you do is send them a legal notice within 30 days of receiving the bounce check. Now, what all has to be there in the notice? The notice needs to contain the number on the check, the date of the check, the bank on it which it was drawn, the date of the check return memo, and the cause against which that money was paid to you, the legal debt that that person owes to you. All of these things needs to be very clearly and explicitly written in that notice that you're sending to the other person. Now that you have sent the legal notice, 15 days have lapsed and you have not received the payment, here's to pull out your big guns. You need to file a criminal complaint within next 30 days from the expiry of the 15 days against that person. Now, when you go to file a criminal case before the magistrate, where is the jurisdiction to file this case? Now, according to the law, the leverage or the convenience is given to you, the person who has come across or faced a bounce check situation. So wherever you have deposited your check, wherever you maintain your bank account is the jurisdiction of the court where you need to go and file the case. Now when you file the case, you need to file the original check, the original bank return memo, the demand notice, and the proof of service that demand notice has been served to the other party and 15 days have lapsed. Now, once you deposit all of these documents, the magistrate is going to summon the other party who has given you that check. Now, when that person actually comes to court, there's a lot of pressurizing situation and a little scope for a settlement because that person knows that he might have to go through this criminal case now. So it is a good case where often people come up and settle. Do not fall for false promises that please withdraw the case, I will make you good, I will pay you. Do not fall for this because right now he's undergoing a criminal case. So he will obviously do the settlement at this point of time. Now, the fourth important thing that you will need to do is leverage the interim relief provision. Now, guys, in 2018, there's a very good amendment if you're a complainant wherein you can get 20% of that check amount as an interim relief, that is during the interim of the entire case. Now, if you win at the end of the case, the other person will have to pay you the remaining amount along with all the penalties and the interest. But in case you lose, you might have to refund that. Now, for example, if you occurred a situation where the check bounce is for rupees 10 lakh and you have filed a criminal complaint. Now, under 143A of the Negotiable Instrument Act, all you have to do is move an application and the court will direct the other party to pay rupees 2 lakh as the interim compensation. Now, this 2 lakh can actually help you a lot with this prolonged litigation cost to pay the legal fees and to face the day-to-day legal consequences that you're actually going through because of the check bounce case. And the last important tip that I would want to give is follow through persistently. Guys, you need to be really patient because these battles can be really long. So you need to follow up very persistently. You need to attend the court hearings or at least be on top of all these court hearings. I think that there could be a time where you would lose patience, but do not give up. And a very important thing that I would want to tell you is because at this point of time, the other person is actually in a fear of going behind the bars or this could lead to imprisonment. So often during the long hustle of a check bounce case, what really happens is people do give in and they want to offer a settlement and you will just get your money easy and squeezy. Now, to end this, I would really want to give another very interesting real life case study. Now, the check bounce case is not just for small organizations, guys. Even the big companies and big organizations goes through it. Let me give you an example of Sahara Group versus Prakash Industries. Now, back in 1997, Sahara Group lended money and gave 5 crores each. There were two subsidiaries of the Sahara Group. They lended 5 crore each to the Prakash Industries. And thereafter, to return the money, Prakash Industries issued 2 checks which bounced. What happens next? Like being Sahara Group, they could have actually waived it off and written it as a loss. But what they did, they legally battled it. And it was a pretty long battle, and to be exact, it was for 20 years. However, in 2017, what happened was really dramatic, guys. In 2017, the Delhi district judge actually sentenced 1 year imprisonment to the managing director of the Prakash Industries and also directed payment of rupees 10 crore each to the Sahara companies in lieu of the check along with the penalties. That is what is the power of Section 138 of Negotiable Instruments Act. Guys, what these stories highlight is that whether it's a small company like Shrees or whether it's a big organization like Sahara, everybody get their money back. Whether it's 3.72 lakhs or whether it is 20 crores, it is the same legal recourse that you need to take if you come across a bounce check situation. Guys, bounce check law is a very powerful business tool for all the business entrepreneurs out there. So whenever you face such a situation, don't panic. act accordingly. Now keep the documentation intact, train your sales team how to act in case of a emergency, follow the legal procedure, act quickly, keep all the documentation intact, and follow the step and the procedure that I just spoke about step by step, and you will for sure get your money back. Now, if you have found these insights helpful and you have found this video little knowledgeable, make sure that you subscribe to my channel and share this video with someone who might actually need this. And I will be seeing you in my next video.